Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Nicole. I'm a physical therapist at Freedom Physical Therapy. I work in both Fox Point and McGuanago locations. I'm here again for the third time to discuss heart healthy habits in our part 3 of 4 segment this February. So today we're going to be talking about our usual 4 different sections: physical activity, nutrition, stress, and additional risk factors contributing to a heart healthy lifestyle. Today in particular with physical activity, we're talking about standing desks at work. With nutrition, we're talking about the popular DASH diet. And then with stress, we are talking about meditation and guided imagery options. And our last section, our additional risk factor section today, we will be talking about cholesterol and triglyceride levels. So again, as I've said before, these are all just suggestions and additional information for you to be a more informed person about your health. So not all of these suggestions are appropriate for everyone, so make sure you talk to your doctor about what is the best option for you in your unique situation. So let's start with physical activity, or standing desks. So standing desks are a fairly popular trend going on right now to reduce the amount of sitting people perform, especially if you have a desk job. But what's the research behind standing desks and what is the benefit to them? So there has been multiple factors that have been linked to a sedentary sitting lifestyle, including obesity, diabetes, heart disease, some types of cancer, and overall shorter lifespan. So there has been little research so far on the benefit of standing desks. However, if you look at the disadvantages to prolonged sitting, it does make sense that more frequent standing in your daily life will be beneficial to you. There was a study done on how many calories are burned in an average workday sitting versus standing. Both of those were about the same, but it has been found that adding more standing into your lifestyle is beneficial. So we do have a standing desk here just to give you an idea of an option that can be used here. So you would like your keyboard to be at neutral level between your elbows and your wrists, and then you're able to bring your tablet or any other workspace up on here so you can look at that a little better. And then it is suggested that if you do start to look into having a standing desk at work, that you don't immediately start standing all the time. Look at just adding about 15 to 30 minutes of standing within your day for the first couple weeks, and then slowly build up into more prolonged standing periods. Otherwise, you may put yourself at risk for getting sore back, sore feet, just because your body isn't used to standing for that long. But as you start to build up your endurance, your body will be able to tolerate the prolonged standing for much longer. So one other option for you to look at if you are considering a standing desk and are not sure if you are willing to actually purchase one, or if you're not sure you're going to actually use it. Another great option that has been found to be very helpful is instead of standing for prolonged periods, set a timer on your phone or use a little kitchen timer at your desk to make sure that you go up and walk around for a few minutes every half hour or so. That's been shown to walking frequently throughout your day, taking breaks, standing up, walking around, saying hi to your neighbor has been found to be very beneficial anyway to reducing your risks that are related to prolonged sitting. So if you're not sure if you are ready to go purchase a standing desk for yourself, try out instead walking around frequently throughout your day instead, and that's a really nice way to get a bit of activity in your day instead of with prolonged standing. Going on to our nutrition topic then, and today, as I mentioned, we will be going through the DASH diet. Last week we went through the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet is ranked number 1 recently as one of the top lifestyle diets to choose from for a heart healthy lifestyle. The DASH diet is right at number 2, and it's very similar to the Mediterranean diet. There's just a few variances. The DASH diet, DASH stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. And the idea behind the DASH diet is it focuses more on reducing your sodium levels throughout your day and to promote you to eat a variety of foods rich in nutrients that help lower blood pressure, such as potassium, calcium, and magnesium. So it goes a different route of how to lower your overall blood pressure to reduce hypertension. The DASH diet also has been found to reduce your risk for osteoporosis, cancer, heart disease, stroke, and diabetes as well. So overall, it's a nice lifestyle change to your diet to improve your overall health. However, what is the difference between the DASH diet and the Mediterranean diet? They're both fairly similar. However, the DASH diet, as I mentioned before, does focus more on sodium levels. So they rank, they have two separate sections that you may go into, either based on what sodium level is appropriate for you throughout your day. So then you'll be put into either category for your suggested dietary intake throughout the day. The Mediterranean diet does focus more on fish foods than the DASH diet does. So if you do like eating fish versus you don't like eating fish, that may be a way to differentiate between trying the two. The Mediterranean diet does promote more use of oils in your cooking and does have a lesser restriction on sweets that you eat throughout your day, versus the DASH diet. It does follow more whole grains, doesn't have as much emphasis on using oils during your cooking experiences, and sweets are a bit more restricted as well. The DASH diet does follow more servings related, versus the Mediterranean diet is more loose in their suggestions of how to follow your meal plans per day. So that might be a nice way for you to start to differentiate, hey, should I ask my doctor about the DASH diet versus the Mediterranean diet, which may be more beneficial to me and which may be the one that is easier for you to stick through throughout your day, because it's a lot easier to stick to a new lifestyle change if you enjoy it and if it makes you feel good too. Moving on to stress. Today, as I mentioned before, we're talking about meditation and guided imagery, which is a really great way to center yourself and find a way to get yourself away from stressful moments of your day and find a way to relax a little more. As I've mentioned in the past, excessive stress throughout your day may increase your risk to develop heart disease by 2.5 times higher than someone who doesn't have added stressors throughout their day. So it's a really important thing to look at, to better your lifestyle and just your overall health and mental well-being. So how do you follow meditation guided imagery? You've probably heard of it a bit, but what exactly is it? Meditation is a nice way to reflect on your thoughts and find yourself in a better mental position. Guided imagery is a similar way to do that. However, you have someone going through a scenario with you and creating a mental image for yourself to focus on that versus the other things you're thinking about throughout the day. It is a nice thing to do if you have trouble sleeping and you are often someone who thinks a lot about things before you try to sleep and you're starting to worry a lot and you can't fall asleep because your mind's racing too much. It might be nice to look into guided imagery as a way for you to decompress and recenter your thought process to promote better sleeping patterns. I also know people who have perform guided imagery or meditations during their lunchtime at work. If you have a stressful work life and you want to just get away and give yourself some space to yourself, it may be nice to find a secluded area, go through a meditation period so that you can recenter yourself and refocus to get through and be more productive throughout your day. So we will post a link at the bottom of the comment section for an example of a guided imagery YouTube video, just to give you an idea of what it looks like and what it sounds like. There's also options for you if you're into podcasts. There's many different podcast options for guided imagery scenarios, which are really nice for you to do throughout your day before bed. If they have a timer that will automatically turn off your phone after a half an hour or so in case you fall asleep through it, those are a nice option for you as well. So go ahead, check out that link at the bottom when we post it in a little bit to give you just an idea of what guided imagery may do for you. And it's always a nice idea to look at multiple different scenarios and videos and sound clips of guided imagery, because one may not be the best for you, and it's always good to test out a few until you find one that you like, and then you can always test out multiple other ones throughout your day to give some more variety. So the last thing we'll talk about today are additional risk factors. Our additional risk factors today are cholesterol and triglyceride levels. Oftentimes you probably go to the doctor and they give you your cholesterol or triglyceride levels and you're not really sure what they are. So we'll go through a basic introduction to what they are so you have a better idea of what they mean when your doctor gives you your lab values back. So both cholesterol and triglycerides are fats that are produced in the body. Cholesterol is very important for building and maintaining parts of your cell bodies, your membranes of your cells in your body, and for making certain types of hormones. And then triglycerides are also fatty components of your system that convert your diet, what you intake from your diet, into either fuel or store for later in fat cells. So you really do need both of these things. It's not good to not have any cholesterol or any triglycerides, but if you have an unhealthy balance of the both compared to the rest of the other sources in your body, it may cause more concerns for conditions such as obesity, diabetes, and things like that. So it's really good to keep track of your levels, but it's always important to recognize that fat is good for the body, and you don't. It's not necessarily a good idea to try to take away all fat out of your diet. So generally, people often say there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. The good cholesterol is considered the HDL cholesterol. That is the cholesterol that goes through your blood system and removes any plaque or things that are sticking to your cell walls and returns it back to your liver to get reprocessed, versus your bad cholesterol, which is the LDL cholesterol. That is the cholesterol that can become stuck to the walls of your arteries and can build up as plaque. However, you do need a nice balance of both because both are beneficial to some extent for your body. But generally, the higher HDL levels you have in your body, the better. So usually a normal LDL level for both men and women over 20 is about 100 milligrams per deciliter. Less than that is normal. For HDL levels for men and women over 20, about 40 milligrams per deciliter or higher for men, and 50 milligrams per deciliter for women or higher is an ideal level for both of those if you have been tracking your levels. Oftentimes, the increase in cholesterol and triglycerides from your diet mainly comes from eating meats and dairy products, so it may be beneficial for you to talk to your doctor regarding those two components of your diet and how those may be influencing your lab values at the moment. So keep in mind that meat and dairy products do influence the levels of your cholesterol and triglycerides. And going on to triglycerides, your normal level for triglycerides are less than 150 milligrams per deciliter across the board for both men and women. So that's a nice way to look at that too, if you are still keeping track of those. So that's all we have for today. Please comment below if you have any questions, comments, or any suggestions for our last segment next week. Next Tuesday, we'll be talking about our last 4 topics of our 4 sections: physical activity, nutrition, stress, and our additional risk factors. So feel free to leave any comments or suggestions and we'll get back to you. But we hope to see you again next week at the same time. Have a good day.